I know my eyes are not playing tricks on me. I look in the corner and guess who I see in the corner?
Hopefully you don't leave my home before I die. I'm tryna you, baby. Hopefully we don't have no babies. I don't even wanna go back home. Hopefully you don't leave my home. I just wanna bless me.
Alright guys, hi, my name is Ayzha, welcome to Desert K-Pop, and welcome back to my channel, yay! Okay, so, we're gonna be doing a story time. It's kind of weird because I don't really like doing story times. I mean, I like doing them, but it's like, story times are still kind of like traumatizing a little bit. They're kind of hard to talk about. Traumatized is kind of harsh, but it's really hard to talk about this because it's like embarrassing and it's a little bit of like an L and it's like, I don't know, but
we're gonna talk about this story time. We're gonna turn this L to a W because
yeah, I need to talk about this and let out this tea because this is piping hot tea, y'all. So if you guys want more story times, more tea from me, y'all know the procedure. I am a small content creator. Like, you guys can help me out. Subscribe, share this channel, like, do what you need to do. You need to follow all my socials down below. It just helps me and this channel a lot, and it lets me know what you guys want to see, and like, you guys can comment, let me know suggestions, because I do want to talk about more about like stuff like this, a little bit juicy, but I need you guys to support me. That way I know like there's an audience out there to talk about this too. So you guys gotta help your girl out and stay tuned. It's gonna be, obviously you'll see the Among Us video being played right now. It's just me playing Among Us. I had the Hello Kitty, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the My Melody Hello Kitty mod. I played that on my Twitch. You guys can go check that out if you guys want to see me play that. I met somebody off a Hinge and it was kind of horrific, and not horrific, but it was just like, it was just weird. Like, you guys will hear about it. So it started earlier in, let me see, like January of this year. So pretty much like pre-corona, you know, like people were still going out, you know. So it was pre-corona and I was just on Hinge. Like, I've been on Hinge for a little bit before, like last year, and I'm just on there to like talk to people because, you know, I just be bored and like, I don't know, I'm just looking for like a vibe, I guess. I'm like, let me just talk to somebody, like, you know, if it turns into something, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But, you know, no funny business, you know, like, it's just talking, whatever. So I was on the app or whatever, and then I seen that this guy liked me. I was like, oh, okay, well, he's cute or whatever. He's we're gonna give him a name because, you know, I'm not trying to put people on blast right now, but we're just gonna call him M because he's messy, and yeah, you guys will know why. So we'll just call him M. So I saw M like me. I was like, oh, okay, well, he's cute. He's like this little Asian thing or whatever. Like, he's Filipino white. Oh, he's cute. You know, he's up my alley, whatever. So yeah, we matched and stuff, and so he messaged me. He was like, oh, does anyone tell you like you look like SZA? And I was like, no one has ever told me that I look like SZA. Like, but okay, I mean, it's not really common, but yeah, he was like, yeah, you look like SZA, blah blah blah. So I'm like, okay. So we're texting back and forth, you know. We're texting for about like a week. So fast forward, it's the weekend, and then my homegirl, she hits me up. She's like, yo, we're about to go to like this club, blah blah blah. It's about to be lit. We're like, all our friends are linking up, we're all about to, you know, meet each other, and this is about to be like a lit time, blah blah blah. So I'm like, okay, that's dope. Like, let's all link up, blah blah blah. We took Amtrak. So like, okay, let's Amtrak to the Bay or whatever. And I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to this guy who like lives around the Bay. So we're in a train and I'm talking to her. But M, I was like, oh, M, I'm gonna be in the city. And M was like, oh, for sure, like, there's a game I'm about to go watch, and then from there, like a football game or whatever, I'm about to go watch, and then I'm gonna go to the club too. So I'm like, oh, maybe we should meet up. So I was like, bingo. So yeah, and I showed her a picture of him, and then I showed my friend the picture. She said, oh yeah, he's mad cute, da da da. I was like, yeah, I know he is. So yeah, I was like, okay, we're about to do this link up or whatever. So yeah, fast forward to the club, whatever. We meet up at my friend's house, and we get turned, do what we need to do. We have our little shots or whatever. Yeah, it was just a turn time. So fast forward to the club. We meet up at the club. We got there like, I want to say like maybe 9 or 10 p.m. So I'm there, I'm hanging out, we're in line, whatever, and then we're inside. So I'm texting M, I'm like, okay, I'm here, like, where are you? And then he's like, first of all, he's like responding like slow, like he's not responding like on time, which is kind of off, because I was like, oh, well, before, like when we were texting, like, it was kind of like pretty quick. So I was like, okay, I'm at the club, like, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm at this kickback right now. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I was like, well, you can at least try. He was like, oh, I'll see, like, you know, stuff like that. So I'm in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, well, I don't think he's coming. And my friend was like, is he coming? I'm like, I don't know, like, he's playing games, whatever. So I don't care, regardless. I'm having a good time. I'm dancing, like, me and my friends were just like dancing. We're at the club. I'm like, we're just having a good time. Like, if he shows up, he shows up. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's 11, it's 12 p.m. comes around. I'm like, it's getting late. So I'm texting him. I'm like, are you on your way? Like, what's going on? Like, just let me know. And then he's responding like late, whatever. And then he finally hits me up. He's like, I'm on my way. And I was like, okay. Like, a little bit later, you know, I wanted to meet him a little bit earlier, but I was like, whatever, like, I just still wanted to see him, whatever. So I'm like getting like, not nervous, but I'm like, I need some liquid courage, you know, I need to drink something. So I go to the bar in the club, and I'm like, give me some Henny Coke, because I don't know what is gonna happen, right? So I'm drinking my Henny Coke. I'm like, okay, I'm excited. And then like, as I'm drinking my Henny Coke, I turn around. I'm like, oh, that's him. I found him, y'all. Like, I was like, because I thought it was gonna be, because I've never met anyone online before, so I didn't know if it would be trickier, because you're just looking at pictures and then you have to find them in person. So I thought it would be kind of harder. But as soon as I looked in the corner, like, I seen the front entrance. I'm like, oh shoot, like, he's right there. So I'm like, oh. That was fast. So my friend was like, oh, is that him? I was like, yep, that's M. And then M comes over, and he was like, hey, blah blah blah, like, we hug and stuff. And then he was like, oh, you were like a lot taller, because I mean, it wasn't that he was short, but like on his profile it had said that he was 5'10", and I'm like 5'7.5" ish, but I was wearing heels that night. So like, I don't know, we just came up like the same height. We're probably like a little bit taller, but like we were pretty much the same height. And he was like, oh, you're like taller than I expected. And I was like, yeah, blah blah blah. And then he was so cute, like, he was just like being nice, and like I was just getting like a lot of good vibes. Like, before I was kind of like iffy because the whole like he was coming in late, but you know, he was really nice and polite. He offered to buy me a drink or whatever, and I was like, okay. So my friends, like, they leave us alone, so it was just me and him. We're just like I don't know, we're just like talking about like ourselves, but it was just weird because we met up at a club. You know, it wasn't like a date where we like sat down and talked and like got to know each other. It was a club setting, so it was like, I don't know, it just didn't feel like authentic, you know what I mean? Like, there was some red flags over here and there. Like, I was like, do you even like me? Like, what is going on? And he's just like, well, you're just fun, you're just a good time, you know, blah blah blah. I'm just like, because at the time, like, you know, I'm kind of intoxicated right now. I'm just like, what is he even saying? Like, I'm like, am I reading this weird? Like, we're just, the vibes are just like, I don't know. He just had a different intention. I was like, I don't know if this is a good guy or not, but hey, whatever. We're here. We're dancing on each other, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can see from this video I have, yeah, it was just interesting. My friends were just like, oh, okay, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, we were just like on each other, kissing, all that stuff. And it was like, oh my God. So, yeah, so fast forward to the night, my friends are like, well, let's go, blah, blah, blah. Well, my phone is being blown up. I'm like, oh, what's going on? And she was like, my friend's like, yeah, we gotta go. We're gonna go bar hop, blah, blah. And then, well, at first I couldn't find my friends. So me and Em, we go outside the club. We're like trying to find my friends because like I think they already did. Like they left the club. We're like, oh, where are my friends? And Em is like, oh, I'll help you find your friends. And it was Em. And Em brought somebody, I forgot to mention, Em brought a friend with him. So he didn't meet up with me. Like he didn't meet up to meet with me by himself. He brought a friend with him. So Em and his friend were like together, and I was with Em outside. This is where we're done dancing, we're done meeting up, chatting, whatever. And then we're outside. We're trying to find my friends because it's time to go. Like it's already, I think, like 1 or 2 p.m. at this point. So Em like gives me his jacket, so I'm like wearing his jacket because it's like super cold outside. And then yeah, like it was just weird. Like he was a nice guy, but like I don't know. I was like I probably won't even hear from him again, but. You know, I could still try, like, you know, because I really, like, enjoyed his company, you know. And then eventually found my friends, or, like, using my phone to, like, GPS, trying to find my friends. I eventually found my friend's car, and I hopped in, and I hopped in the car. I was just texting him. I was just like, I miss you already, blah, blah, blah. And he didn't reply to that. I was like, what? I'm like, I think he's just tired. Like, I think he's gonna hit me up, whatever. And then I stay over at my friend's house. I wake up and I still haven't heard from him, and I was like,
what is this? Like, oh my gosh, like I was so mad. I was like, this is not okay. Like I enjoyed your company and you just gonna leave me?
It doesn't make any sense. But so yeah, this was all the way in January. So fast forward, it was Valentine's Day. I have not heard from Em whatsoever. I'm like, where is Em? Like, what's going on? So I'm like texting him like a little bit in January, and he's like, oh, and he had mentioned that he was gonna get a house like in the Bay. That way he's a little bit closer. And I was like, okay, well, whenever that happens, you just gotta update me. And he just never did. Like, he was just being kind of weird. But I was like, because it was being weird, but then he was like still nice, so I was like, I didn't know how to take it. But fast forward, it's February, it's Valentine's Day. I'm like, well, I kind of want a Valentine's, so I hit Em up. I'm like, well, I'm gonna be at the Bay again. I'm like, when I'm gonna see you, like, what's the plan? And he was like, well, I don't know what your plan is. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I want to go see you. Like, what else is there to say? And he was like,
well, I don't know, like, I don't have any plans right now, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be out in the city like that.
Like, just all this, like, X, Y, and Z stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to the Bay to have a good time. So, me and my friends, we go to the Bay again, and we go out to the same club. I'm like, forget Em, like, he's being weird, he's being phony, like, I'm already on to the next, like, I was kind of simping over him a little bit, but now I was like, okay, well, he's obviously done, like, on to the new chapter, because he was just playing games and just being all weird. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we go back to the same club. Me and my friends were out there again. We're dancing, having a good time. We're just like having no worries, blah, blah, blah. And then one of my friends are like, oh, I gotta use the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. You know how girls are, like, oh, we gotta go all together, right? So me and my friends, we all go to the bathroom, and then we come out, and then we're waiting for one more friend. So we're waiting outside, like, the bathroom, whatever, in the club. This is Valentine's Day, right? This is February. So I'm standing there, just waiting for my friend.
And then I look into the corner of the room, and I know my eyes are not playing tricks on me. Like, there is no way that like I'm being conned right now. There's no way this is real. There's no way I'm in a fairy tale, because I look in the corner and guess who I see in the corner?
M. I'm like, I can't make it up. Like, I literally cannot make this up. Like, I wish I was making it up because it sounds crazy. Like, I'm like, sir, are you at this club? When you told me you had no plans and you told me that you never even been to this club, now you're acting brand new and you're in the corner. I see you. Like, when I tell you when I was heated, I was heated. I was telling my friend, I was like, girl, this is M. And she was like, what? That's not M. I was like, I know what his face looks like. Like, that's M. And she's like, oh, you're tripping. I was like, no, that's M. So I'm like, at this point, I'm heated. I'm like, this is not real right now. Like, is this serious? Like, are you serious? So I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna go back to the dance floor. I'm like, at first my plan was just to like play it off and pretend like I never seen him. And if he sees me, oh well, type of thing. But I was like, you know what? I'm lit right now. I'm about to go over there and see what's up. So I'm dancing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I see him. He's coming over this way. I'm like, bet I'm about to, you feel me? No. But I was like, I'm about to confront, you feel me? So he's coming over this way, and I'm walking towards him. I'm just
like, you know, I pushed his shoulder. I was like, boo.
Like, you feel me? And he was like, yo, he was so flustered. Let me tell you, like, he was like,
oh my gosh, like, what? Like, oh, hi, like, how are you, blah, blah, blah.
It was him and his same friend again he was with. The friend walks off. He was like, oh, shoot, you go handle this. And M is like, oh, how are you? Like, how are you? And then I'm like, yeah, how am I? Because I don't look too happy right now. I don't. And then M is like, let me go buy you a drink. Like, what's up? Like, trying to just blow everything over. Like, I'm like, I was not born yesterday. Like, what? So, like, we go over to the club, and then I'm gonna insert the clip the second time we met up. We're going to the bar. He already talking to another girl. Like, you look messy, sir. You look messy. Like, I don't know. Like, this guy, I'm telling you, like. So what happened? Okay, so then I basically was questioning him. I was like, so you're mad scary or what? Because I asked you what your plans for Valentine's Day. You said you weren't even gonna go out like that, and you weren't even gonna, like, what's up? And then he's like,
oh, like, I just didn't want to bother you. Like, I felt like I didn't want to be too clingy, blah blah blah.
I'm like these made up excuses, like he just pulled from his butt. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Bro, what are you talking about?
What do you mean? You're not gonna be clingy if you hit me up. Like, you don't make sense. And he was like, well, yeah, like, blah blah. And I was just telling him, I was like, you're fine. Like, you just need to let me know because I really wanted to see you, and you want to be weird. I was already forgetting about you, but you want to show up out of nowhere and lie to me. Like, you make no sense. And then he was just like, oh yeah, like, blah blah blah. And he was just like, oh, I'm gonna get you your drink. And he got my drink or whatever, like, you know, just trying to like push everything to the side or whatever. And it was just weird. I remember him telling me like he never been to this said club besides the first time he met me, like, we met up. So it was just like nothing was just lining up, and I was just like over the BS. And he was trying to lean over and kiss me and stuff. I was like, bro, like, look, I'm just take my free drink, enjoy it, and you can get a little dance or whatever.
Y'all, why was he talking to a whole female at the bar when he was trying to buy me my drink? Like, clownery.
So me and him were dancing, whatever, blah blah blah. And my friends see me with him, and then they're just not too happy because they're like, wow, now y'all want to be booed up, but weren't you mad at him? So my friends like walked away from me, and I was just like, I was just like, I don't know, I was kind of like 50-50 because I was mad, but at the same time I did kind of like simp over him and miss him, so I was just like, let me just enjoy his company again, you know. So, and then I remember he mentioned that he had a house, so I was like, so what's the house situation like do you have the house in the Bay, like what's going on? And then he was just like, oh yeah, I actually did move in, my roommates are here right now with me, like, let me introduce you to my roommates. And like the roommates were in the club, so we're just like meeting up. I was like, oh yeah, okay. He introduced me to his roommate, whatever. So I was like, okay. I'm like, are we gonna go to the house after? Like, what is going on? Like, I just want to know. And he was like, oh, like, I don't want you to come to the house right now because I don't have furniture and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, so if it's not this or that, like, what, like it just doesn't even make sense. So I'm like, okay, so like, what is going on? I'm just making up excuses now. And then the end of the night is like approaching, and then my friend is like hitting me up, blowing my phone up. They're like, girl, come outside, like, we're about to leave. So I'm like, oh, again? Like, my friends are always trying to leave. So I'm like, okay, Em, like, just follow me, whatever. So me and Em, we go outside and meet my friends, and then my friend grabs me, and my friend grabs Em, and like my friend is holding both of us. They're like, and he's like, do you like her? Like, do you like he's asking Em, like, do you like me? Like, what's going on? Like, what are these games? Because my friend is like for me. They want to know like tea and what's going on. And then Emma's like,
yeah, I like her. Like, she's a good time. She's fun. Like, you know, like, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
And I'm just like, this is so embarrassing. Like, you sound like an F-boy and you sound like a frat boy. You look like a frat boy and you look dumb. Like, I can't. I literally can't. And my friend was over it, and like, it was so random because I was still kind of drunk, whatever. I just remember kissing Em out of nowhere. Like, I just couldn't help myself. I was like, he's still kind of cute a little bit, so let me still kiss him. But my friend was over at the point, so he was like, okay, we just gotta go. Like, let's just leave, because you don't know what you want, and you want some liquor, and you need to go back home. So I was just telling Em, I was like, well, I gotta leave. I'm like, am I gonna hear from you again? Like, what's going on? And then he was just like, yeah, well, whenever you're in the city, you just gotta hit me up, blah blah blah. I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, whatever. So I leave, and yeah, and like, we tried texting a little bit afterwards, but it's just like, it just wasn't gonna work out. Like, I was just telling him like, oh, come over to my city, and then he was just like, oh, really? Should I? Like, how was it? And like, he hit me up once about like what school I went to, blah blah blah, but that was it. Like, it was just like, just all this, but like no action. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, moral of the story, do not find your love online. Do not, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's okay, but you just really gotta be careful, because people really be playing these games out here, I don't want to make this story too long, but if you guys like that little story time I did, again, comment, subscribe, like, and share. Check my socials again. My throat, my voice is like getting scratchy, but hopefully it wasn't too long of a video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any like lingering questions or whatever, or advice, just like comment again, and yeah, I'll get back to you guys. Yeah, thanks for watching and listening to my little rant. I'm not really mad. I don't have any like bad blood with M or whatever his name is, whatever. It's just, it is what it is type of situation. I obviously moved on, so I mean, what can you do except pass through all the BS, whatever. And be true, be you, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.